He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since that tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अहम ब्रह्मास्मि। Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the part of the people on the other side. स्वागत है सभी का। So, the sessions that we are in today are can be said typical, or might be the most sought out. इसके पीछे न जाने कितने सारे चीजें बताई गई, समझाई गई, जानी गई, बूझी गई, and if you go and search on internet purpose of life, you would easily get 1 million hits. Now, when the world is rushing towards finding the purpose of life, then We said, okay, so you are searching for just the purpose of life, but what is the spiritual purpose of your life? So in order to go with the flow kind of thing, like when the world talks about it, why you should be behind. आप पीछे क्यों रह जाओ? So not only that, but there is a deeper meaning to that. Why we are doing this. And might be through this session today, we will be able to understand a new way of it. Might be we all know it, but understanding it in a very different manner. उसे समझने की, decode करने की कोशिश करेंगे. So how many of you are still searching for the purpose of your life? अभी भी ढूंढ रहे हो, सोच रहे हो, समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. Okay. So I can see the hand of Santoshi ji only. So Santoshi ji, I think like I should stop this session because all others have found it. So I can have a direct call with you and let you know what it is. So Rajesh ji, okay. Okay. So what is exactly this purpose of life as per you? So let's begin with a story and how the story of purpose of life began. And why we are all running towards it. There was a village or a deep interior forest place where there used to be a small little boy. Along with his family, they used to reside there. And since his childhood, the father of that kid would cut trees and collect branches and woods and go to the town and sell it. But this boy has never gone to the market. ये कभी बाहर गया नहीं, कभी शहर देखा नहीं. So every time his father used to go because he was a small kid, so they kept him at home. And all that this kid learned throughout his life is cutting woods, eating food, and sleeping. That was his daily routine. Wake up in the morning, complete his daily work, go to the forest, collect woods, bring it back, eat, talk with their parents, go to sleep again after eating. So that's a very common way of living life. But all that he has known is this. And slowly he was growing up, but he never knew anything called as a school or something as such. So, but slowly as he grew up, his father always wanted that his kid should get educated, live a better life than him. So for the father, the purpose of life was to make his son a better person. And for the kid, as he didn't knew anything about it, he just lived. The way the day came, he just lived that way. Then one fine day, the father went to the town, and while returning, someone suggested that why you always keep on telling that you have a kid and now he must be around like 14, 15, but why don't you send him to school? Now, this person's goal was to make his kid better than him. So he said, oh, that sounds to a good thing, but how can I get it? So that person guided him and he says, okay, so I'm going to send my kid to the school. Now he goes back and he says to his son, like, you have to go to school. Now the son asks, like, what is a school? Because he never knew that. So now, for him, the world was just waking up, collecting woods, eating, sleeping, that's it. Now, when he heard about the school, he started inquiring what school is. The father said, this is where you will go, you will get educated, you will learn, and you will live a better life. And so he didn't know much about it, but he said, okay. So he goes to the school. And for the first time, he's going to the town and to the school. And on the first day itself of the school, the class teacher arrives and asks everyone, what do you want to become? What is the purpose of your life? Now, the other kids, somebody stood up, you want to become a doctor, engineer, astronaut, IPS, IAS, I want a software engineer, and to become a teacher, I want to become a problem solver. So everybody went on saying what they want to say. But when it came as a turn to this kid, he was just looking. He was not able to give any answer because there is no purpose to his life. For the first time, he's listening to this word, that what do you want to become, or what is the purpose of your life? So he could not answer, and the teacher came near him. Might be he did not got the question. So she said again, what do you really want to become? What is the purpose of your life? What? The kid again looked at her and said, but I don't know, might be I want to just wake up in the morning, collect woods, eat food, just move around with my family and go to sleep. The teacher says, no, this is not the purpose of life. Then he said, then what could be a purpose of life? They said, no, you have to find your purpose of life. No. The kid says, but this is what I want to do. I don't know anything else. And then all the students starts laughing that he does not know anything. But the teacher says, okay, do one thing, today's homework. Tomorrow you come back finding the purpose of your life. The student goes back, the kid goes back, asks his father and says, like, they are talking about something that I don't know. What is this purpose of life? And they are saying you should have a purpose of life. And when I said I should be living happily with you people, they say, no, this is not the purpose of life. Now you have to find something else. Now when they are saying to find something else, I don't know what to do. The father smiles and says, what exactly they asked? The kid says, it's like they are asking me to plant a tree first and then cut it down. But I don't know which tree they are talking about. Then the father said, what are the other kids saying? He said, they are saying, like, somebody said doctor, engineer, I don't know what they are, but they are talking like that. The father said, you also say that? He said, but what would happen with that? Now, the only thing that will happen is you will also fall into the same run. They only want to hear you saying that you want to become something. And if you don't tell them, they will keep on asking you. But ultimately, my son, whatever you are right now, you might be a bit more comfortable in life. But don't forget what you have learned. Living happily. So the student, like this kid, goes to the school. The next day, the teacher asks, so what is the purpose of your life? Now says, I want to become a doctor. So now you found it. And similarly, in our lives also, someday, somehow, somebody asked us, what is the purpose of your life? And then people give logic. You have taken a birth as a human. That means there should be a purpose of life. And then what do you say? You are just like that kid who has never gone to the school. And then you start looking here, there, everywhere to the sky, stars and earth. That what should be my purpose of life? Because everybody is speaking about that purpose of life and I don't know what the purpose of life is. How can I remain so away from this world when everybody knows? But have you asked anyone? what is their purpose of life. Because the same people, those who talk about the purpose of life, and most funny thing, I used to conduct sessions on purpose of life. And now when I look at that, I laugh. Because it's like a hot selling cake, you know. Everybody wants to have a bite of it. But what exactly can be the purpose of life here? So in order to understand this part, we will take a very simple way of understanding this. And might be by the end, we understand what it is. Or rather, we are free from it. We will not be running towards to find out what the purpose of my life is. And at least we'll be settling down with a clear understanding what it is all about. And if there is really any purpose to my life or not. They say every word should have a meaning, so should your life. There should be a meaning to your life as well. If there is no meaning to a word, how does it make any sense? Similarly, if there is no meaning to your life, how does it make a sense? But here, to understand the basics of it, we will go and understand what it is all about. Because at times, the answers are hidden in the question. So purpose. We have seen many people say like, good people suffer, bad people are happy. And I've done all good things, but still life is very, very typical for me. So in order to understand all this, and some people say, what spirituality? Why do you need all these things? Yeah, God has given you hands, legs, you work, make it happen. And some people say, there's nothing done. I will only live here. I'm not going anywhere. And some people mock. When you do certain kind of activities, they mock at you. It is exactly just like this small little kid that you are going to the school and they think like they know and you don't know. But look at that kid again. He said he wakes up in the morning, does a regular work, eats food, lives happily with his parents. In the night goes to sleep. What's the problem in that? I think there was no problem until the word called as purpose of life was introduced. Okay. Even though it looks like a problem, we'll find a solution. That's why we are all here, right? So let us understand first, like, what is a purpose of any creation that has been created? And when people say like they are busy in these worldly things, let's understand from a perspective of a pashu or an animal. We have all evolved from that, right? That's what Darwinian theory talks about. And they say like we have transformed ourselves from single-celled animals to this complex human being that we are right now. What is the quality of an animal? The two major qualities of an animal is, one, to survive. The second, seeking pleasure. Now look at any animal. What do? Either they are seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, or just living their life and surviving. Have you seen any animal that you want to just step on and they will just come, okay, aao, mujhe le jao? No, they won't. Because survival mechanism is something that is very, very intricate in any being. It's a like innate nature of them, core of them. So a person who wants to live means animal, their first and foremost thing is survival of the fittest. That's we all read. So first thing is they have to live. The second is pleasure seeking or avoiding pain. Now, when we look at the majority of the people that's there out there in the world, what are they trying to do? They are trying to survive. And the next thing they want to do is pleasure seeking through any way. Might be through food, might be through clothing, might be through any other aspects of life. And avoiding pain. All that they are trying to do is avoid pain. But if somebody is just living a life for that, उसमें और एक पशु में क्या difference है? Is there any difference between a pashu and a so-called human who is only living just like that? Wake up, eat, sleep, die. There is one more word in between, reproduce and die. So eat, sleep, reproduce and die. So if somebody is living at that kind of level, in the Shastras, it is mentioned as they are nothing else but just a pashu. Pashu is not a bad word here. Pashu is meaning a one who is bound. Pashu matlab jo पाश में बंधा हुआ है, वो pashu है. The one who is bound to ignorance is a pashu. And that's why they don't even understand what and why they are here. They just live, eat, reproduce, sleep, run around, die. But that's not exactly what. If that was the case, this is where the human theory of life or purpose comes into play. Might be those people can be called as two-legged pashu, because they are also doing the same thing. They are trying to avoid, and what they do? They also do certain things like they are ready to take pain in order to gain. कुछ प्राप्त करने के लिए वो पेन के थ्रू जाने को भी तैयार है. For example, if we see a tiger running behind a deer, see, is it easy for the tiger to run? Might be yes, might be no. But what it is trying to do is, it says a little bit of pain is better in order to achieve what I want to achieve. So, in order to gain what they want to gain, they are doing the work. What do? We are also saying instead of staying hungry, it is better to take a little pain and fill our belly. It is better to do a little work which even we don't like. But then let us, Janayji, hold on, we will complete. So when we are also running towards the same things, thinking like, okay, let me take this little pain so that I can avoid more pain in the future. So we run. And then a typical thing happens to people, those who get into spirituality. The people, those who get into spirituality, at times, especially if we are young people or might be, what happens to you is when your friends look at you, like all of you must have gone through the same thing. Ye koi umar hai? Is this any age to be into spirituality? Matlab, there is any criteria as if to get married 21, then to go into spirituality you should be 60. But there is no such criteria. But people around you, they look at you and say, where are you running? Why are you into spirituality? Ye koi umar hai? Abhi to jaake movie dekhna chahiye. And at times, by listening to them, I have seen many people, those who are very young and might be started their spiritual journey, they face a trouble. What is the trouble? At times they look at themselves and connect them with their friends and they say, oh, so everybody is growing except me. They feel like they have stayed back. They are backwards. That's what they think of. But down the line, 20 years later, 30 years later, there comes a phase in human life where they are stuck in their life. And now they call it as midlife crisis. Because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. And there they are stuck and still searching. What should I do? What should I do? Because in the race of getting fulfilled the 3 basic needs, they avoided their nature. And the true nature needs nurturing. So when you are at a very young age and you are into spirituality and your friends are achieving great success, wait for a few days, few years, and then you will see. I'm not talking it from a perspective of a theory. I have lived that. When everyone was busy doing their work, I was busy doing this. But now when they look at me, the only thing I can say is, I don't know the measurement of success, but I know the measurement of happiness. So when I look at them and when they look at me, all they run towards me and ask, paise bahut kamaye. We became this, we became that. But what makes you so happy? I said exactly that made you all unhappy about me 20 years ago. Because at that time you said like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But look at me right now. Situation is the same for you. You are also in the same world. I am also in the same world. But is it not like this? The small little story that we all might have heard. There was a fisherman. He was lying down on the seashore and whistling. Have you heard this story or not? So he was sleeping on the seashore and whistling, and then one big businessman comes and looks at him and says, how come he's lying down there? It is just midday. Why he's lying down there whistling? He goes to there. What are you doing? He said, oh, I'm resting. And what whistle? Oh, I'm just whistling. I just like it. But why are you sleeping now? It is midday. He said, so? Now, why don't you go back into the sea, collect some more fish, bring it and sell it? He said, what will happen with that? No, if you bring that, you will sell it, you will have more money. Then you will have a bigger boat. And then what should I do? No, you have to go again back. You have to hire people. You have to take more. Then what? Now you will have more fish. You will sell it. You will become more. You will have more. And then what? Now you will have a fleet of sheep and all those things. And then after you will become a big person out there. And after that you can rest. Now this person looks at him, stops whistling and says, then what am I doing now? If all that has to be done to reach this place, what am I doing right now? So it does not mean that you should stop your ambitions. It's not that you should not be achieving some things, but at the cost of what? If the 2 major things that people like are running behind, it is first and foremost thing that they speak of is survival, right? If survival was the purpose of life, then nobody should die. They should have become immortal by now. If that was the purpose of creation, then nobody should have died. Yes or no? If that was the real story behind creation, nothing should be destroyed. But it is destroying. That means that is not the purpose of creation. That's not the purpose of life. Because how far you want, how far you try, this body will fall. But now the question appears, why does this body fall? Now this is something to be understood. Why death? Why this body falls? And why the evolution altogether? Why we have been वो कहते हैं ना कि बंदर से यहाँ तक क्यों आ गए? Why have we just transformed ourselves from a monkey and apes to this human being? The answer to this is very, very amazing and very simple. Let me ask you this question. Are you smarter than your parents? Your grandparents? बुद्धि के हिसाब से कौन सा? I don't know, like way of life, I'm not asking. Who is more happier, I'm not asking that. But I'm asking you, who knows gadgets better? You, right? At least you see, you're running Zoom. 20 years ago, there was no cell phone. Now in the age of AI, you are doing all this. So you are, in a way, evolved or not. What about your kids? What about your grandkids? Are they more evolved than you? Yes or no? I think they are more smarter. And they appear to be more intelligent, because at times you look at your own kids and say, how can he talk like such, like he's like a grown-up person? That means, can you see the evolution has not completed its cycle? The evolution is still continuing. And why evolution has to happen, why people have to die, why they have to change, is the intelligence that you are is not able to wrap itself or express itself completely in this body. So it changes its body. Its innate nature is so huge, so vast that it cannot content itself in this body. So it changes the cloth. And what happens? So the next time it appears with a greater intelligence. In a world where it expresses itself in a much better way. So can you see why the body dies? It's because the consciousness is not able to express itself completely. And again, it appears to find what it truly is. But when we go back to the innate nature, the basic things or the basic instincts that pull humans out or animals out, when we look at that, they are trying to earn, they are trying to make a living, they don't know anything about anything else, just live, die and repeat. There is a movie, I believe, like Live, Die and Repeat. So that's how people are living. But that is what, when they are pleasure seeking or just trying to live their life, in our Shastra, it is called as Kama. Because that is the basic thing. That basic itself is running the entire thing. Let it be a cat, let it be a dog, let it be a general human who has never understood anything about his consciousness level. How do they live? They live the same way. Unaware, anubhigya jise kehte ho, unaware of anything. Just pulled by his instincts. And that instinct to avoid pain and to stay in happiness, that is what it is called as Kama. What are the 4 pillars of our life? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So first one we were talking about is Kama here. Because that's where the basic things are happening. The people are still in that realm. Evolution is happening, consciousness is growing, but they have to change a lot of body. So when a certain person has reached to this stage where they are trying to transcend from a Pashu towards the Pashupati, means just being an animal to the master of that animal. So there are two ways here. One lives as a Pashu, the other moves towards Pashupati, means the consciousness of Shiva. So the one who is moving towards the consciousness of Shiva, when you look at your own selves, are you still okay to live like that Pashu, or you are moving, transcending, going towards the other side of it? The answer will be very, very clear to you. Because now you know you are no more just in the mundane way of living life. If the mundane way of living life was your priority, some people must have been like in that other part of the world, they must be busy cooking their food and we must be busy sleeping. But we are not doing that. That means an effort is being put towards that movement from Pashu and cutting that path, moving towards the Pashupati, moving towards the ultimate. So when you are starting to move towards the ultimate, what do you get at the end is the liberation. So from the transformation from karma towards moksha, what is the consciousness? Why is it coming again and again and again and again and changing the body? Is because it's trying to realize its freedom. Its innate nature is freedom. And when you sit, when you go to a place where there is a lot of crowd or there is a lot of noise or there is people just talking negativity, do you feel good there? You don't feel good there. You feel like alienated out that place. When people chit chat and start gossiping, how do you feel? You don't feel good anymore. Might be earlier you were part of it. And for some people, they were the starter of it. Means their main agenda was they will go and start a... But now you are the same person, you are going to that place, but those things no more are things of your plate. You don't like it anymore. Aapko pasand hi nahi aa raha wo sare cheezein. What are you doing? Because you have started to move from one aspect of life to the higher dimension of life. And that when we look at this, you remember I always keep on saying, like when one fine day Ram asked Hanuman, who are you? And then Hanuman said, when I don't know who I am, then I am your das, your shevak. And the day I realize who I am truly, I am you. So जब तक मुझे ये ज्ञान नहीं है कि मैं कौन हूं, मैं तुम्हारा दास हूं, लेकिन जब ज्ञान हो जाता है तो आप जो, मैं वही. So similarly, the second thing, until and unless as you are transcending into that space, as you are moving to that space, you see, you are still in the human being, in this body. But at the same time, your consciousness is evolving, your focus is towards the higher self. So now exactly you are saying the same thing. When I don't know who I am, I'm just a human. But the time I realize who I am everything. Aham Brahmasmi. So when this transformation is happening to all of us, what should you do? As Hanuman said, he said, until I realize who I am, I'm just your das, your shevak. So similarly, what is the dharma of it? The dharma that we should be living along with is, till we realize, let us remain a servant to the Lord. Might be the divine being, whatever God you believe in. Let us do the good things. That what calls about is dharma. So kama, moksha, dharma. So what are the ultimate things that you are seeking for first? You are seeking your liberation. The first and foremost thing that should be or is the goal of life is, it is trying to express itself and find its liberation, not be bound to anything. You see, when You watch a movie, might be you liked that movie, or you listen to a song that you liked. You liked it so much that day and night you started playing it. But what happens after some time? It starts slowly losing its charm. Let's say 24/7, I just play the same song in your ears. You would go crazy, right? Might be first day you are happy. Wow, my song is going on. Amazing, amazing. Wow, what a song, what a song. In the second day, bhai thoda band karega. Stop for a moment. And if it is get on, keep on running the same story, you will throw it away. So similarly, life has become that, because it is always waiting to learn, like waiting to gain something from outside. It has never heard its inner music. Because inner music, when we speak of the inner music, it is not a sound. It's just a being, the way you are. And that's, if you reach out to that music, means that consciousness that you are, you won't be get bored out of it. But most probably when I see that people say they got liberated and then took another birth and they again lived in this world and again got liberated, I say, what kind of story is this? Might be they are getting bored of liberation, because they have not found what true liberation means. For them, liberation is again another song, again another story. So that's why they say, now I am liberated. And after 2 days, they say, oh, what is going on in this world? I am free from everything. The very next moment, they are tired. So this is where we are getting entangled. However, if you keep this thing in mind, as Krishna said to Arjuna, that whatever you are here to do, do it. That's your dharma. And again, in our Shastras, there is one thing that is mentioned, is none of the yonis, means in none of the janmas, karmas play a role, except the one that you are in now. मनुष्य ही शरीर जब प्राप्त होता है तभी कर्म का फल मिलना शुरू होता है. Means your life that you have taken as a human, ये कर्म से भरा हुआ है. It is all doing. But if a small little ant lives its life as an ant, it will evolve anyways. It does not need, उसके ऊपर कोई कर्म लागू नहीं होता है, उसके ऊपर कोई कर्म कार्यरत नहीं होता है. Nor else just think of a tiger killing innocent deers and still getting liberated, evolving. Now you say, not a good plan, but sometime you were there. Sometime you were that. Now, if that was the karma and you were being judged on the base of karma in other yonis, you should have never evolved. But here we are at the gateways. Here in this gateway, we are judged based on our karma, because the consciousness has evolved to a certain state where now you know what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. And here comes the karma part. So what should be your karma? Your karma is to align it with your dharma. So the first and foremost thing that you should be seeking is nothing else but finding your liberation. That should be your first work. See, karma means that's work that we do. It will be continued anyways. You will continue to do your job. You will continue to go to office. You will continue to cook the food. You will continue to live in this body, because that is part of this life. But you are not just part of this life. You have been part of many lives. And ultimately, you are part of the divine. So if you are the part of the divine, what should be your purpose of life? And if you understand this, that should become a point from where you can begin your journey. Not just in words of liberation, not just in words called as moksha. But while you are in this world also, while you are in this world, you still have to earn money. Because if you don't earn money, what are you going to do? Because there are things that need to be taken care of. Your kids have to go to school. You have to eat food. So that means it is said like you should also have artha in your life. But in our spiritual scriptures, they mention it as dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So this is, when I look at these four terms, I can see this is not written for a yogi, but this is written for a householder like us. They said the first thing that you should be working on is your dharma. What is the first purpose of your life? Dharma. What is my dharma? Dharma is not religion. My dharma is, if I have been given this, if I have come in this way, let me do what best I could. That's your dharma. Artha. In order to do the dharma, you need artha as well. Now, let's say you want to go to any, especially let's say Tirupati Balaji. वहां पे भी टिकट लगते हैं. Even not at the temple, just to travel, you have expenses, right? So that's what they say, धर्म करो, लेकिन उसके साथ अर्थ की व्यवस्था करो. You should not only be attached to the dharma, but in that, see that intelligence, that hands, legs that people speak of. Yes, it is good, you should earn your money, but not like a pashu. Only that? No. Usse pehle dharma ko rakho. So your dharma is the first thing. The second thing is your artha. You should earn, but you are earning in ethical ways. Then comes kama, means you have to raise a family, you have to take care of everything. You have to feed yourself, you have to clothe yourself. That is what, where you need the artha. But what is the ultimate that you should be seeking? Is the moksha. So what are your purpose of life then? The purpose of life is not difficult. They have already defined it so easily. You can rearrange the words, might be, if you need. But if you are here in this life, if you have been given or you have evolved to this space, the ultimate seeking for you all should be seeking or transcending yourself from that pashu towards the Pashupati. So when we are living this life, distributing that part, distributing in the sense, all these four things are the priority of my life. I have to take care of the family. Arth chahiye uske liye. So how should I earn this money? Second, kama means I have to do work. In order to do the work, what kind of work do you choose to do? But while doing that, there should be a segregation, a demarcation, where I can see like many of you have already transformed your lives in one way where at least 1 hour of your life is dedicated to your liberation. At least you are doing chanting of mantras or doing puja and worshipping and all those things. That's what you do, right? So at least 1 hour of your life has been dedicated to that. Might be 8 hours of your life is, or 9 hours of your life is busy earning money. But 1 hour you have at least dedicated every single day towards your dharma. So dharma or arth ho gaya. Then you are taking care of the family while doing this. That means आपका काम का भी शोधन हो जाता है. Like that is also taken care. And then at least for moksha, you have dedicated 6 hours in a week. Now you say, what are these 6 hours? We are sitting here talking. So at least 4 to 6 hours you have dedicated towards knowing your true self, exploring your consciousness, and through which, through these small little talks might be, you are evolving step by step to the next level of life. So let us now do a review of our life. And then I will give you an exercise to do today. And that exercise will continue till Wednesday. And if you like that, when we talk on Wednesday, if you like that, you can continue. If you don't like, you can discard. Because it is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And you will love every bit of it if you really. And how, from where did I get this exercise? I will tell you. I was walking on the street yesterday. I got that exercise. So that's what I want to share, because I experienced that at my level first. And then I said, wow, this works so amazingly. Why not share it? So is it okay if something is just brought a huge smile on my face and said, wow, this worth? So that's what I will be sharing. It's not coming from any books anyways. So is that fine with you? Will you do that? So in order to go there, first and foremost thing, you have to look at your entire journey of life till now. Take a moment. Just if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. But for some people, their life is so vibrant that they cannot close their eyes. They can see their life moving in front of them with open eyes also. So whatever way it is, if you want to close your eyes and see like how you were a kid, what you did, how you evolved, what all you did in your life, for all these 4 things, ये चारों चीजों के लिए क्या किया? And then we will come to a place where I will also let you know where we are stuck. Some people, we have gotten stuck to a certain place. How to transcend that. And that will give us the pathway to that little exercise that we will start doing. Okay. So take your time, close your eyes, open your eyes, whatever way you want to see your life. Because I feel like when you close your eyes, a CD is pushed into that and now the movie starts rolling. So look at all through 4 aspects of life. And also, if you want to make it more interesting, you can become a judge and tell me where you have worked more. किस चीज के प्रति आपने सबसे ज्यादा समय बिताया है? अगर आपने धर्म के प्रति सबसे ज्यादा समय बिताया है, तो आप धार्मिक हो. You are a religious person. अगर आपने कर्म के प्रति समय ज्यादा बिताया तो आप कार्मिक हो. सो ये अभी कर्मवीर. अगर आपने संसार के माया में सबसे ज्यादा समय बिताया है तो आप कामी हो. आपको क्रोध रहेगा, आपको ईर्ष्या रहेगी, आपको जलन रहेगा, आपको द्वेष रहेगा. You will have all the heavy ego. So that's what you will be kami, and again you will be in the category of that pashu here. But if you look at all that I was seeking is the final liberation of my life, that might be the 4th. You are the seeker of liberation. So just take your time and you see, you need not have to tell me. Just find out what it is so that we find a solution for that. Does not matter if you have lived your entire life in the 3rd stage. You are not being judged. You are being given an opportunity to find out. So don't wait to your deathbed when some God will appear and judge you. I just want you to be aware of what you have lived your life, because many of us are living our life even without that consciousness that I'm alive. Even without that awareness that if it is like all of them here, and yeah, that would be, but there would be a percentage, right, Deepika ji? because I know where I have spent the maximum amount of time. So just it is just a vague idea to get an idea like where I have spent it, so that you decide where you want to go. Let's say I have been completely into the part of liberation, but have I not done my dharma properly? Have I not taken care of people around me? That might be another story, right? That I have been completely busy in one thing and I have ignored others. So it is a very simple exercise. You need not blame yourself. This is not a blame game. It is just to look the way you have lived your life. That's it. It's a review process, a review of my own self. Because nobody does that. And then you will see so much of clarity appearing. You will realize where you have not done the justice, because of which many things are going here and there. Just take your time. And don't worry, we will find a solution. One bullet solution for all. Okay. So I'll be giving you 2 minutes time, and we will be talking after 2 minutes. So the review process begins now. Okay. Now, for some people, it might be difficult to even look at their lives and find out what it is. It's all hazy. Yeah. But do one thing, just check your breath now. Is it balanced? It is right-sided, it's left-sided, whatever it is, just check. See, while you were busy, yeah, you can just type it out so that I can elaborate that to you. So Dhavalji, can you see, even without trying, your breath becomes balanced? Did we do any yoga practice? To left side. Okay, Vinduji. Balanced. Okay. So there is nothing wrong if it is left-sided, right-sided. The only thing is I will tell you to decode that. Okay, right, okay. Now, by just looking at this, you can easily tell what kind of life these people have lived. Now check Dhavalji. When all the people, those who are asking about, they're saying like, oh, it's a balanced. So when I say that, when the people, those who have all the right-sided ones right now, okay, there are many people, those who have that right-sided of breath, very, very active. Have you not really lived a very active life? Always trying to do something. You cannot sit. You have to do this, you have to do that. Not only in life, at a mental activity also. It always runs. It won't sit together quietly. वो भागता रहेगा. And the people, those who have left-sided, you see very less people said that they have a left-sided breath right now. Those people are something like they have lived a happy life. उनको देखना, वो हाँ ठीक है, अब हो रहा है, सब हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं करना है. Kalyani ji left-sided, right? So look at your life. You say, bhai, okay, lot of problem going on, but it's all his. वो देख लेगा. I cannot do anything. So see, your Chandranadi gets activated even without knowing. Just by observing your life, like just looking at your life, your breath changes. And when you say there is a balanced, that means you have worked on all the 4 aspects of life. And when you are working on all the 4 aspects of life, you are trying to create a balance in that. But is the right-sided correct? Is the left-sided correct? Is the balance correct? No. We are not telling about correctness or it is right or wrong. We are saying this is the way you have lived your life. You have lived a very active life. Is that wrong? No, that's not a wrong thing. वो कर्म मार्ग है. कृष्ण ने कहा कि कर्म के थ्रू भी आप मुक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हो. What's the problem there? No, that's not a problem. जो लेफ्ट साइडेड है उसको कहते भाई भक्ति मार्ग से चलो, उसने सब कुछ उसको समर्पित कर दिया. No, don't get it wrong. Now people say, but मैंने भी तो सब कुछ समर्पित कर दिया. Then why my left breath is not running? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the way you have lived your life. So don't categorize yourself here. Just see that whether you have lived that way or not. The left breath that goes on, he says like, whatever comes, I will be happy anyways. That's what they have decided. And when there is a balance of it, these people actually have the toughest ones, you know, because they are trying to balance everything. But at the same time, when they are able to balance that, if they settle down, means when balancing all these things, you're still, the entire focus is that even though I'm trying to balance, but there is something called as that a stick in between, in which that tarazu dekhe ho na, olden one, not those digital one right now, right? What do you call that? Weighing machine, the old weighing machine. You see both the sides go up and down, but when the weight is same, it balances, right? But there is one center stick that never moves. So here you have to find that if I have focused on all the 4 things, why I was able to focus on all the 4 things, why there is a balance now. That means somehow, somewhere, there is a balance within me that if I relate to, if I get there, then my pathway to liberation is easier. Now the people will say, what about the right side ones and the left side ones? No, that is just the way of life you have lived. So now the time to do the exercise. Let me introduce to that exercise that we all will do. If we all will do, then only I will tell you, else bye. You don't have a choice, you know. See, yesterday morning, I just went outside. I was walking on the street. The very moment I just plugged in my ears with a song. It was a song of Kali, so I just put it at a beautiful song anyways. But the moment I put the song in, and it felt like as if everything stopped around me. But the very next moment what happened is, like this is what magic happens, you see. It is a street filled with vehicles moving. I'm just walking. Now suddenly a gush of air comes, hits me. I said, wow, what sweet feelings. And that very moment, there are trees. Due to that gush of wind, it starts shaking and all the flowers and leaves start falling on me. Now I feel like, wow, there's something amazing. When that's all those things start falling on me, I said, wow, so it's all you. The very moment I say that's all you and I open my eyes, what I see, a lady coming with a basket on her head. She is walking towards me, dark colored with tripund on her head. I said, oh, so this is also you. And I just decided one thing that very moment. What if for the next 10 minutes, all that I see is you? You come in any way, you come in any form, all that I will see is you. वो कोई भी आए, वो गाड़ी आए, cycle आए, a person walking or a person running, a people shouting or somebody going through talking over a phone, I will only see one thing. Great Bindu. For 10 minutes, I am going to only and only focus on his presence or her presence, whatever you think like. And whatever is happening, I'll just feel its presence. I started with 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I increased it further to 1 hour. Then I said, if 1 hour is really feeling so well, why can't I increase it further to 2 hours, 3 hours, and the entire day? But I don't want you to become saints at one go. Very difficult, because you are sitting at your home, somebody is saying, hey, pani ka bottle leke aao. I said, wow. और आप यहाँ पे बैठ के मेडिटेशन कर रहे हो, कहते खाना नहीं बनाए तुम. I said, wow, you are there. In such cases, it would be very difficult. That's where we get stuck, right? That's where I say, like, I'm so happy, I'm so aham brahmasmi, then suddenly glass of water brings everything down. So the simple exercise that I want all of us to do together, I will also do along with you, so don't worry. Just at least for the next 10 minutes, whatever you see, whatever happens to you, even if the fan or the AC is on for you and that air that is coming to you, and even if you don't have an AC or a fan on, anyways, air space is there. And if you feel that space to be that, a person moving in that room, it's also that. A thought moving in my head, that's also that. My breath coming in and going, that's also that. The cloth, the body, the mind, what all I see. For the next 10 minutes, we are just going to do one thing. Experience its presence. Tough? Easy? See, neither it is tough nor it is easy, but it is going to be worth a million. Because in the next 10 minutes, when you just experience this one thing, you won't leave it. So even though I feel sleepy, even though I'm absolutely awake, that is all his presence right now. So the next 10 minutes, kya karna hai? Now we will add this up to the Chidambaram Rahasya. Means experiencing it in a formless and form state together, and then doing the meditation today, you will see the multifold of it. And then when you are walking into somewhere, even though you are walking on the street, consciously walk, but what all I will see, I will only replicate it as that divine being. See, many of you already do that. I'm not saying that this is something new that I'm asking you to do. You must have done that. But now let us do it as a cumulative effect. वो कहते हैं ना कि if one person shouts, the voice reaches to certain place. If 10 people shout, it will reach further. So we are quite a good number of people in this room right now, and all the other people listening on the YouTube. So how about creating that cumulative effect for this 10 minutes? Means we will not experience anything else except the divine. So Haribhai, if you are around, so I think like if we put the music, then it's gone. So we'll not put any music. All that we have to do is just sit there. All that you have to do is, with every single breath coming in and going out, feel its presence. If you want to keep your eyes open, look around everything and look at it with so much of intensity that it itself evolves into a divine being. And you see, the moment you just try to do that, automatically there will be a smile on your face. And when that smile is there on your face, you are not just trying to find a purpose of your life, you have become the purpose of life. And then you will realize something so deep within you, which is an innate nature of consciousness. Means the one, here what we are trying to do is, all these days I was trying to see myself as this body, as this limitation of this body. Due to this limitation of this body, despite I am moving freely, yet I am not Swatantra. And when I say I'm not Swatantra, that means I am not experiencing what Shiva's innate quality is. So in this 10 minutes, you are going to be free of this body, free of the thought, free of everything that I thought like, okay, this is me, that is that. No, I am everything and everything is that. And if I start looking at everything in that way, and you know, in the Shiva Sutras, if you read at the 16th, 17th sutras that are written, in that it is said, like Shiva is saying to Parvati that the one who looks at the world as different and then discards all the differentiations, he becomes me. No boundaries. Means if you eliminate all the outlines, you become me. So this way, let us feel a way of being absolutely free of all things. Even the thoughts, even the body, even whatever is surrounding me. So are we all ready? I believe like I have cooked the food well. So now you know what to do. So 10 minutes, I will also be silent. You also be silent. Just whatever you want to do, do. You want to dance, dance. Without music, yes, without music. Your inner music is enough to make you dance, you know. But whatever it is, feel the presence of the divine in every form, shape. Experience your freedom. Just allow yourself to do whatever you want to do. If you cannot do at a physical level, do it within yourself. What would be like you reaching out to the divine or the divine surrounding you now? What if it is all there? What if it is listening? What if it is just sitting by your side? What if it is saying, "Ab bol, now tell"? Or what if he is there to reveal itself? So whatever way you want to look at that, you want to see that, you want to feel that, you want to experience that, just do that. And after that, we will do that. jap of that say first mantra of Chidambaram Rahasya. So now your time begins. For the next 10 minutes, we will just be silent and you just experience it to the max that you can. This might be a starting point, but it's good to start. Begin. Your seeking can be a playful one, as if you are searching for it. It is hiding and coming back, again hiding, coming in front. Just that wind that is touching your skin is also that. The skin that is also that. Because the feeling that the skin has is because of the consciousness. And the consciousness itself is Shiva. Yes, that thought is also that. The song that plays in your ears is also that. And that thing that keeps on sending smiles to your face in a EMI fashion is also that. That space is also that. That you feeling the blankness is also that. And that pull in your heart is also that. The feeling of that pain is also that. The emotion that you are not able to control is also that. The crying is also that. The happiness is also that. The stillness is also that. Let go. Become that. The heavy heart is also that. The floating is also that. Sanvi is also that. So all that you see, all that comes and goes, everything is that. Reveal your heart to that, because that's also it. It's revealing itself. It's hearing you. All that you see with your closed eyes is also that. The smile fades away, but the happiness remains. It is also that. If you can raise your hands a little bit in the air, not completely, just a little bit. Might be facing towards the roof. If you can just keep both the hands just in front of you, might be at your shoulder level. Just keep it. And if you compare both the hands, you will feel absolute difference in both the hands. The energy, the heat, or the temperature that you feel like. It will be absolutely different in both the hands. One is more vibrating, heated up. The other is like somebody is touching it. They're slowly kind of touching it and going up. Keep it facing towards the roof, up. Your palms should be facing towards the roof. हाथों को ऐसे रखें जैसे आपकी हथेली ऊपर की तरफ. Wow. Now you will feel it more easily. Okay, keep your hands down, relax. Okay, so now you can open your eyes. Now in this space, what are your thoughts? See, all this time you are thinking, visualizing, but check your thoughts if you have thoughts. How did you transcend it? Can you see, this is exactly what happens. Kantakeva naina kantakevam. Killing your thought with your thought construct. Now you will have the experiences of a very typical experience that is beyond. In order to intensify that, let us do the Chidambaram Rahasya. Everyone must have had some or other experience in this 10 minutes time. So I need 5 people, those who can just chant that mantra 51 times each. So if you can raise your hands. Actually, Haribhai was requesting me to, why don't you record it and keep it, we will make it 51. So you elaborately discuss like what it is, how to be done. So it becomes a regular practice. I said, okay, so we'll introduce these 7 steps to our 9-day programs also. Okay, so Janesh ji is ready. I need 4 more people, those who can do the chanting. If you don't, I will choose. And this time I'll choose some new people. Those who never speak. See, keeping your face down does not moves me away from you, no? Yeah, सौम्या जी आप ही को बोल रहा हूँ. So who all? विजय जी आप तो कर ही सकते हो. Okay, so just hand raise कर दीजिए so that it is easy for me to unmute you. So we have 2 people, Vijay ji and Janesh ji. How about Shashi ji doing it? अब इतनी साधनाएं कर दी तो ये मंत्र तो जाप कर ही सकते हो. What is the mantra? How many of you remember the mantra itself? One single line, na? Very good. So I got 2 Sure sisters. Anyways, they have raised their hands, so we will put them onto the mic. So raise your virtual hands also. It means virtual hand. So, okay. Deepika ji, if possible, if no, okay. Sashi ji, you have to raise your hand. Anyways, I have chosen you. You both can chant together. So So we have 4. So one more. Whom to bring? Saroja Garu. Can she keep a count and do the chanting? There is one more person who is not doing it. Vani ji. Okay, so you please raise your hand so that we can unmute. Okay. So we all know the process. The process starts at the top of the head, that is a Brahmarandhra. The first focus should be on the Brahmarandhra. 51 times the chanting will go. The next one will be on the left shoulder. 51. Then it goes to the left knee. 51. Right knee. 51. Right shoulder. 51. Okay. So all those who are people are sitting on the chair, they can just keep their legs crossed. Hands should be on your lap. Left hand down, right hand up. Thumbs touching each other. Or you can just keep it as this also. Just a open faced palm towards the sky or towards the roof. हाथ खुले रख सकते हो आप, या तो बाएं हाथ के ऊपर दाएं हाथ रख के just touching the thumbs. A very easy process. Or if you have a very particular posture in which you are comfortable with, you can do that. If you are sitting on the ground, much better. If not, still it can be done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. No problem. We'll do extra today. The extra one will be focused on the heart. The last 51 mantras will be done focusing on your heart chakra. Clear? Everyone got it? Very good. So who will start? Let us begin with Vijay ji. Please unmute. So the mantra that all the other people, you will keep your eyes closed. Only the person who is doing the chanting, they will keep the count. And once the chanting is done, they will stop and I will unmute the other person. Okay. So Vijay ji, please begin with the mantra.
Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shiva. Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya. हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवा हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 हर हर शिवा 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 सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम।
थैंक यू विजय जी। जनेश जी।
ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम। 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 हर हर शिवा शिवा सदाशिवम।
ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम।
थैंक यू। शशि जी और संतोषी जी, प्लीज अनम्यूट।
ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय।
थैंक यू। सरोजा गारू।
ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम.
Okay, so Vani ji, so now the final one, keep the focus on your heart.
Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Sada Shivam. Om Namah Shivaya
हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर शिव शिव सदा शिवम
Now just be there in that silence for some more time. Just sit without any mantra. Just observe what is happening. Take a slow inhalation of breath in and slowly exhale it out. धीरे से एक सांस अंदर, गहरी सांस, and slowly leave it. Now take your time to open your eyes. as we said, like for the next 3 days, at least start with 10 minutes of just focusing everything as that. Just 10 minutes you can do that, right? So it's up to you. Whenever you are just sitting, you can do that. You are walking, you can do that. And we will talk on that on mostly on Wednesday. And I believe like the Mahanirvana, the 3 mantras that were given for you for the 3 days, you must have completed that. And yes, there would have been a very typical experiences, especially with females. So extreme a few things like, but that's okay. That is for only 3 days. So you can stop that. So until the next one arrives in that. Okay. So finally, the ultimate goal is just what you did now. Despite being in this world, and yet while being in this body, doing all the other things, what is required to be in this world, yet not living like a Pashu, working towards the ultimate while walking on the path of Dharma. And just as you started as a body, and again in towards the end, you are absolutely lost somewhere. Means lost in the sense you don't know what happened. Towards the end, you just are no more there. That is the true movement. From being to non-being. From this just a human to the divine. So may this process of you continue. And we will meet again on Wednesday. Till then, try with the experimentation of this 10 minutes. If you want to do more, you can do that, and feel free to share it in the group if you are doing it and what you experience in that 10 minutes. If there is something that you like should be shared, you can go ahead with that. So with this, I would like to stop here now. So see you all again on Wednesday. Till then, Aham Brahma.